This is the fifth attempt at this subject. It must be a doozy. So the goal is cure the insanity. And yeah, you're crazy. And that's competent to lead or for any executive position, which all elected posts, there's thousands of people at thousands in hand. If you are elected to any position or post, there's at least tens of thousands of people in your hand. That's not that's too many people to be in the hands of someone who is insane. Oh, I can do my job. But you're not dealing with the question of, are you insane? That's a diversion, a distraction. So we're going to run the gambit. Here we go. Motherfucker shit, goddamn asshole bitch. Now tell me, how do you feel about what I just said? Yeah, well, you didn't hear all the other responses, but they were pretty much the same. I don't think that language is appropriate and such. All wrong, 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 wrong. Here we go again. Now, listen very closely. Listen. Do you hear the birds? All right. Listen again. Did you hear that? That is called sound. Vibration gave off from something moving. All right. Everything gives off sound that moves. Okay. Whether you can hear it or not, hey, that depends on your level of hearing. Okay. Now, sounds, except for the image of the thing making the sound, they have no definition. They have no meaning. I mean, you hear a bird, it brings a picture of a bird to your mind. All right. It's not supposed to do anything else. All right. You hear a foot stumping, you're supposed to see a foot stumping. Sounds are supposed to be attached to the pictures of the motion that caused the sound. I don't know what this thing is you call language, but you're insane. Now, sounds, language. Language, I guess, is supposed to be sounds that you make. They don't draw pictures of you when we hear your voice. I mean, we hear a cat meow or a lion roar, we get a picture of a cat and a lion. But when you make a sound, we don't get a picture of you. We get all these things you taught us that this sound means, which is all against the natural order of things. It's not cuneiform. Now, let's this example of why you're insane in this area. We're going to use curse words. Listen, there are no such thing as curse words. Okay? I guess originally that statement was to mean someone say, damn you to hell. They like cursed you. May you this happen to you, may that happen to you. That was the original curse words, like 100,000 years ago or so, or 5,000, 3,000, it doesn't matter. Those were the original curse words. There was no motherfucker, shit, bitch, damn, fuck, uh, asshole. None of that existed. So these were the original curse words. To wish bad on someone is cursing. Now, how it got construed to this is because your mind is manipulated by other men, other primitive minded men. Your mind was weaker than theirs, so their little primitive mind was able to manipulate yours. But I'm not buying the crap. You're insane. That's why you can't lead right now. You need to learn. Then you'll be a leader. But first, be a learner. Now, cursing. Man, these people encourage your boy worse. Curse words. Some person decided that this sound meant this. Someone decided that the word bitch meant female dog and that it meant a derogatory term toward a female, period. Someone decided this and pushed this thought for out there, and others spread the thought. And now it's spread everywhere in this land. But if you go to another land where they don't speak this language and you call someone a bitch, they're liable to smile and shake your hand. That's how much that sound means to them. It means nothing. You're trained like a monkey to these sounds. And you're passing censorship on television and censorship everywhere. And you're sick in your head. Okay? No sound means anything except what we accept it to mean, what we're taught, and we mutually agree, okay, on that sound and that meaning. I have not agreed to any of this crap. You're sick, you made up these words, you deal with it. Now, no one, there is no curse words. So you can't be telling people you can't say these words, you can't make these sounds, that's insane. See, you've been insane for a long time. You remember? You're the same guys that told women that if they showed their ankles, they were loose and a whore. And women remember a time when all a woman had to do was show some leg. That's how restricted you had women. She was so bundled up, couldn't show her body, that if she showed a little leg, men went wild. Over a calf. Come on now. You're sick. And it's gotten out of your control. You that made those rules, the miniskirt knocked you down, and the two-piece bathing suit. And girls are walking around in broad daylight in men's boxer shorts. Oh, and my favorite, yoga pants. Come on. Just like nylon stockings. You're walking around naked with a layer of nylon skin across them. Everything's showing. And it's not lewd. You don't get it for it. You're not going. No, who goes to jail for indecent exposure? And that's another thing too. Decided what parts of the body were bad to look at. Ooh, don't look at this part. That was made by little pee-pee men, ashamed of their pee-pee. They had a reason to hide theirs, and it's been pushed forth from the whole world. And I don't have to agree to it. I don't have to go by it. You don't make the rules for me. I don't know who told you you did, and I never agreed, because I stand here as a real life flesh and blood person standing on solid ground. I'm not a fictional piece of paper, nor am I under the laws of some seafaring admiralty maritime law. I haven't signed on, I have no agreement with the state of California or this company called the United States. You have no authority over me, anything. Now, I'm about to enter into contract, but we're going to rewrite all these contracts because they were written by insane people or primitive people from hundreds of years ago. Like I said, who peed in pots and carried it down to the river. That's not who I'm letting lead the world today. Okay? A man who had no idea what a cell phone was. In a cellular world, cannot be making decisions. There was no internet. Their founding fathers had no internet. They had Paul Revere. Come on now. That's light years apart. They were not that bright. They were not that advanced for us to be living by their call. And their call was stolen from Egyptians. But we're not going to go there. That's not what this is about. This is about the insanity, and it's about cursing as an example. Now, in this debate, I can curse whenever I want to. And if a censor appears, that censor is fired because they're no longer qualified to be a censor because they know they're not of sound mind. And if you're here at this debate, your career is over. It was a very foolish move. I think I actually warned people against that. That if you debated me, that it could end your political career. That you could not even get a job at Home Depot. No one wants to want to see your face. You made an idiot of yourself. But you were so grandiose, such delusions of grandeur. They're all a bunch of idiots, and I refuse to believe he's anything different. Well, now, who's fooling who? Who's schooling who? A lot of things have changed, including the thought that someone's skin had something to do with their mental capacity. No, what it had something to do with a game that was made up by some men who made sure no one would be able to play that game as well as them because they kept changing the rules and they had rules where they could change the rules whenever they want to. We'll pass this law, this rule, this bill. That's rules, laws, and bills, and all those fancy names are all fancy names for rules. See, they got a game that they can adjust when they want to their benefit. And Trump's demonstrating it right now, and everybody's going bananas. It's the same thing they've been doing all along. Trump is just blatant with it. It's like, what am I hiding? Everyone knows. Well, I thought everyone knew. Anyway, so, but what they never thought is that this man could beat them at their own game. You've heard those words before, haven't you? Now, I'm going to remind you of something because you're going to wonder, what does Michael Jackson have to do with being one of the smartest people alive, or being the greatest inventor, a world speaker and politician, blah, 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 blah. Now, listen to me. You should have listened to Michael because he was speaking for me. And that I cannot tell you until way after this tape has came out. Now, listen. You're going to hear me quote songs, but most of them are my personal life and the things that I'm going through. And the correlation is just going to blow your mind. My name being on the sign at the drugstore in Billie Jean. You're going to see many, many things. You're going to see many, many things. And it's all going to come clear that it's all the same thing. The same thing. Not one, 1,000. What do I mean? If you kill one, 1,000 will come to take its place. Sounds like just a saying, doesn't it? Until you look out and look outside and see that you're surrounded. Now, back to the subject at hand. You're insane. What is insane? Insane is to have lost your grip on reality, to be out of touch with reality. And what does that, do you want a metaphor or a better picture of that? To not know the consequences of your actions. Do you understand what I'm saying? To not know that if you walk up and kick someone, what the outcome is going to be. That's insane. All right? Because if you walk up and kick someone, a normal, sane mind knows if someone walked up and kicked me, it would hurt. And I would probably kick their ass. So if you go up and kick someone, not knowing that it's going to hurt them or that they might kick your ass, you're insane. That's not knowing the consequences of your actions. Now, in all my history, while we're speaking from a racial point, I remember dozens of people getting their brains beat in, and all they kept saying was the same thing over. What did I do? What did I do? Why are you hitting me? Why did I do? And I'm saying these people really don't know what they did. They really don't know how offensive what they did was. They didn't know how insulting it was. They really thought it was all right, that it's normal, that it was cool. And they always say something like, I wouldn't have gotten mad. I'm like, you're insane. You're insane. And that proves it. You're going to do something that someone would beat your head in for, and it don't occur to you that they might beat your head in for it. You're insane. You're insane. I know you don't want to face it. I know it hurts. I didn't want to face it either. You could try to find culprits, but you better try to find a cure. You want someone to get back at. That's just another form of insanity. You know in your own mind there is nothing you can do to undo an act. So revenge is senseless. If someone killed a loved one of yours and you went and killed them, it's not going to bring your loved one back. It's not going to undo it. We all know this, even little kids. But we can't seem to function like we know. That's where the insanity comes in. The insanity is happening on a subconscious level. You're going to psychiatrists on a conscious level who don't even know why they have the insanities that they have. They have no idea. They keep speaking of subconscious, but they have no idea of that realm and how it works or the mechanics of it or anything. Ask them. Now, here's what's going. You have some subconscious conflict. All right, not subconscious issues with this and your parents and this and that. It's all crap. You have subconscious conflict put in your head by the educational system and the media. Not intentionally because they're insane. They don't know, they didn't know they were going to make you crazy. They didn't know the consequences of their actions because they're insane. All right? They put conflict in your brain. All right? Here's an example of what's going on in the back of your mind. You've been taught, educated, and programmed that nothing is impossible. This has been fed to you. And you also have been fed a contrary thought. Nobody's perfect. These two thoughts, they cannot exist in the same space. Something can't be right and wrong. It has a right and a wrong side to it. It can't. It's all right. These two thoughts cannot both be true, and you believe they are. You believe no one's perfect, and you believe nothing's impossible. All right, because you're not quite sure about either one, because you've never checked them out. You've never investigated them. This is just something someone put in your head and told you. That's why I said about they made you crazy. These two thoughts fight each other because if nothing's impossible, you can be perfect. And if nobody can be perfect, then something's impossible. See what I mean about in the front of your mind, it doesn't occur, but at a subconscious level, it does. So you're fighting this battle. Which one is true? Which one is true? And you don't even know you're fighting it. Times a million pieces of information. No wonder you're a nutcase. No wonder you're walking around. I don't know why I did that. You don't. You don't know. You say you will and you don't. You say you won't anymore and you do. And you don't know why. You can't even put one foot in front of the other to get to where you're trying to go in any area because there's problems down below. It's what you call the subconscious. I don't even call it that, but that's another story. Now, let's fix this conflict where you can see the feeling that it gives when you fix one of these conflicts. Which one of these are true? The one that is true is nothing's impossible because you can't be perfect. We do perfect every second of the day. Okay? You can bowl the perfect game. You can shoot pool the perfect game. You can throw the perfect dart. All right? You can shoot the perfect arrow. We do it all the time. I'm going to give you a perfect example. In brain surgery, you have to get it right every time. It can't be we win some, we lose some. You can't win them all. This is someone's brain. They have to go in there and get it right exactly every time. The same way with heart surgery. They have to get in there and do it right, perfect every time. And they do it. We do perfect. We run the perfect race. We do perfect all day long. So whoever came up with this nobody's perfect thing was somebody trying to cover their own shortcomings. All right? No, because it's insane. Nothing's impossible is what we keep finding out. Star Trek has came and passed. No kid wants a flip phone. So Beam Me Up Scotty is old. But it was the future to us. It's came and it's went. Robots are sweeping the floor. Now, you turn it on your bathtub by just talking. So, There's no such thing as cursing. The whole sound game is insane. It's just a mind plant done by some very smart men. I'm not even sure they were men by your standard. I mean, they might not even have been of your world by your standards. You know, you've had a lot of interference, and that would just be too Twilight Zoney for this debate. You can't handle the truth, don't even come close to saying it. Now, this is why I don't recommend that you take a leadership position at this moment. You can't even figure out why your daughter's acting whorish or your son's acting like a drug addict. You can't fix your own household. You cannot fix the state. So, now, you can't run the city. You can't run the state. You really can't run the country. And you're not about to try to run the world. That's been tried. Um, you need to. We haven't coined the word yet, so I can't even tell you the process that you got to go through. But as for right now, you should remove yourself. Next.